cane yellow 370Z burst into flames. Trembling, he felt the searing heat against his back. The roar of his own cries filled his skull. He called out for Shoshana, again and again, until he started choking and coughing up blood. There was no answer. He was fading in and out of consciousness now. At some point through the thickening haze, he thought he heard the wail of sirens and then heavy voices shouting over the embankment. It's too late. He surrendered himself to whatever fate had stored up and blacked out. Earlier that night, Hampton had tooled northeasterly along Highway 78, crossing over McNutt Creek and into Athens, Clark County. He floated through a blinking traffic light and onto the University of Georgia campus. Hampton checked his smartphone for messages for the 5th time that hour and let the disappointment well up in his chest. How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? Hampton weaved through the expansive grounds until he found an empty visitor's space on the far end of the packed lot behind the administration building, 3 full country blocks from the main library. By the time he entered the Isla Dunlap Little Memorial Library, it was around 10 p.m., 4 full hours before closing time. He strode into the massive red brick structure, fronted by grand Greco-Romanesque columns, and surveyed the vastness before him. He dutifully checked in at the curved reception desk, staffed by a couple of bleary-eyed work-study students, and glimpsed the rows upon rows of books set upon metal shelving. Dedicated on November 19, 1953, and now holding more than 700,000 volumes, the little library was anything but small. Hampton was growing nervous when the phone finally chimed and a flood of emails streamed in. It's about goddamn time. He stuffed the phone into his backpack and pulled out a day pass. Any study rooms open? Sorry, full. A sleep-deprived underclassman told him, half-examining the guest permit. Midterms. But there's still some space upstairs in special collections, if you don't mind ghosts. Legend had it Mrs. Little, a bridge-playing, twice-married, twice-widowed socialite whose only reported occupation was capitalist, felt so strongly about her $500,000 posthumous bequest to the university that she never left its halls. The benefactor, over the years and long after her recorded death in July 1939 at a hotel situated in the present-day Czech Republic, had been reportedly spotted in the archives, thumbing through the biography of Button Gwinnett, the state's British-born second governor. Hampton chuckled and said, I hope she doesn't mind such pedestrian company. He jotted down the wireless password and shuffled up the stairs. A motion detector tripped as he stepped inside, and the room lit up. He slid his laptop onto a table near a round-top window, opened his email account, and clicked a message marked, Approved for publication. A mischievously satisfied grin crept across his face. He'd more than expected a rigorous vetting. After all, the story was as complicated as it was controversial. The proverbial dams would break, hit dogs would surely holler, and a passel of fish would fry. Fact-checkers had rung his phone a half-dozen times or more in the last 24 hours alone. Corporate minions in the legal department, concerned more about protecting profits than journalism, dispatched drafts filled with the obligatory red flags. It took 3 full weeks to obtain final editorial clearance. His reporting was meticulous, Hampton knew. The 4-part investigative series, detailing the exploits of an indicted drug kingpin and his ties to the mayor's office, took more than a year to compile. He dug into decades-old court documents and nearly drowned himself in newspaper archives, campaign finance disclosures, and reams of government emails to chase down a pay-for-play scheme.